With the brand new announcement of the concert artists 701 and 901, today Ted and I are looking at both of the CA701 and CA901. We're going to compare them, talk about the differences, and listen to that brand new SKEX competition piano.
Hi, this is Ted with Alamo Music Center in downtown San Antonio, Texas.
I'm Patrick Marr. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channels, check out our other videos, sign up for notifications, like our videos, leave us comments. We appreciate the support and we love to interact with you. Piano facts.
I have a two-tier question for you.
All right, piano facts. Let's go.
First the question, and then you can ask me like when, like what year, because that might change your thinking.
Is this like, it's like a trivia game? Okay.
It's a trivia,
right.
Piano trivia, and
Okay.
in it is a fact.
Okay, let's hear it.
Who is the first piano manufacturer to export American-made pianos? Which company?
Kimball?
Not Kimball. 1844.
1844.
Is when this happened. So that means Steinway's out.
All right.
Because they were 1850.
Hit me with that. Who is it?
Chickering.
Ah.
Took a bunch of pianos to India and found...
1844.
In 1844 and sold
Interesting.
Boston-made or Massachusetts-made pianos.
Interesting. So that is, we're starting every video with a little piano fact. This is our piano trivia today. But we are excited to look at some cool new products. That's not 1844. There's been a lot of...
no, but they're pianos, and that's what these are.
There's been a lot of advancements in the piano world.
They're modern pianos.
And it's interesting because the one behind us, I think they actually call it like the modern digital size, or, which is interesting that they're...
Modern upright.
Yeah, the modern digital upright. And so it's like that's a size now and a qualification of piano. Just interesting world we live in.
Well, now, of the two, the 901's my favorite because they have the new sample. It's got the real soundboard. It actually, in satin black or in polished ebony, that thing looks like a real piano for the most part. And the other thing, you can turn the light off on the cheek block so it looks like a regular piano on both models. That's the thing. It doesn't have to stay on.
Well, so let's talk about, so the Concert Artist series has been a very popular digital piano, really kind of competing with the Clavinova series from Yamaha as, I would say, one of the top tier digital pianos. And has won a whole bunch of awards as, hey, this is the best buy for a digital piano player who's looking to get the most realistic feeling instrument. That's to an acoustic piano and one of the most realistic sounding pianos with their SKEX rendering. So Kawai takes their most expensive piano, the Shigeru Kawai, their SKEX is what they call it. The EX actually stands for experimental.
Well, because the piano's not finished being developed.
So
I like that idea.
They're always making improvements, and so they take that idea and they go where? They go to their digital pianos and say, how do we make an improvement? Let's, this was so good, the SK, it's their main sample, the SKEX rendering, but it's our concert grand. What if we made a modification to it and did a different, a different sampling, a different rendering.
Foundational sampling.
And then they call it the competition grand. And so that is the most modern release from Kawai as far as, hey, this is our best sample and our best rendering on it. They did a different perspective. They did it from the player perspective. So, they followed, Yamaha also a couple years ago did something where they called it a binaural sample, and they're like, put on headphones. When you put the headphones on, it's the binaural sample, or you're the actual one sitting in front of a grand and listening to it. Kawai kind of took that and said, what if we just set up the speaker system and set this up to sound like you're sitting there in front of the piano? And it sounds incredible. So it is from the player's perspective, that rendering. And so they said it adds a little bit of brightness to the mix, a little bit more bass depth. We're going to listen to it here in a second just by itself. I think it's important enough on these models as a big release to listen to the newest thing. And they do, I think, 8 different renderings of that competition grand. And they have different fun names like romantic and classic and all these different rendering types, all under the same name of that competition grand. So let's take a listen to it. Ted's going to play it, and then we'll come right back.
Patrick, I hope you enjoyed that, because that's a real pleasure to play. And I wanted to state that the competition grand that we demoed is just there on the 901 is really phenomenal, wonderful to play. It's inspiring. And what I like about all the different sounds is that some of them affect you as a player in a different way. And so you can tell on some of my demos, if I didn't like the sound, I was kind of like not getting that fancy, not overplaying and trying to end it short.
Yeah.
Okay. But some of them, it's like, my God, this thing sounds. I know I think it's psychological, but the instrument does feel different when you're getting that kind of touch and response that's different from a different EQ'd sound.
Yeah, and I think that is very much on purpose for them to really dive in and say, let's offer right off the bat a couple different renderings of our instrument, so they can touch you in a different way than it touches someone who likes the third rendering of it. It
really is a living sample for a digital piano. It comes alive.
So the 701 and the 901 both have that rendering of the competition piano. If you notice, when we were showing you, the playing of the competition, we did blend in on the 901 the back soundboard, just as an example, to show you that there's sound coming off of this soundboard, and it sounds pretty good. That's kind of the idea of an acoustic instrument. The soundboard is your natural speaker. Kawai took that idea in the 901, and that's probably the biggest difference between both of these. When you look at the Grand Feel 3, which is the action, both have the exact same action. They both have the same amount of voices in them. They have the same sound card from top to bottom, recording capabilities, same Bluetooth capabilities, but the biggest difference is going to be in the back. You have that solid spruce that is going to be a soundboard, trying to amplify the digital sound that's coming off of it. So they have, what do they call them, right attached to the soundboard?
Transducers.
Transducers on the soundboard. I think there's a couple of them. The wattage is different because it's a 50 by 50 by 35 off the soundboard, and so. Versus the 110 watts on the CA701.
I wanted to mention this. Some people do refer to these as hybrids because they have a real working grand piano action in it. Granted, it's one designed for digitals. Okay? Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, fine. The 901 then would be a truer hybrid because it has a soundboard. Mm-hmm. And so I'm almost to the point where someone's going to have to come around and start defining these new phrases that came out to design products like this, a hybrid. What really is a hybrid piano? Mm-hmm. Is it both an acoustic and a digital? Or is it a little bit of both? Or is it a digital action? Imagine something that plays as easy as, like, say, a DX7, but you're actually controlling a grand piano.
Yeah.
There's a reverse thinking for piano of the future.
There you go. We did a video on that.
Piano of the future.
These are both very much pianos of the future with a lot of their technology. 256 note polyphony on it. The controls are on a touch screen that you have the same controls on both of them. But they did an update with the anti-glare, kind of make it easier to read.
Oh, that makes it great to read.
More legible, and also you're not picking up a lot of reflection while you're trying to go through.
Reflected light.
But you are also able to control these off your phone, off of some sort of iPad or a tablet if you have one. And they actually have a new application called Virtual Artisan. It was replacing the Virtual Technician. New parameters and new adjustment to some of those really fun.
Make your piano your artisan piano.
Yeah.
Sculpt it to your own.
And pricing on these, I believe the 701
comes in at $48.99.
$48.99 right now, and the 901
is at $63.99.
$63.99. Again, biggest difference is the cabinet is actually more of an acoustic grand cabinet. In the videos you probably saw it. We'll show some pictures, but it looks like an acoustic upright a little bit more. The CA901, the 79 looks more of like your traditional digital body shape.
Upright piano. They've both, the boxes and the cabinetry have been redesigned to support that sound system as well. And so it sounds like you're actually behind the piano as well.
So not only do they look different, that soundboard on the back of the 901, I'm still calling it a CA99. The 901 has that spruce soundboard on the back, which really kind of changes the overall characteristics of the instrument and make it a fun instrument to play and experiment with. And if you're a recording artist, to have as something that you can run audio into this and play it off of the sound speaker. You can play your music off your phone, off of the sound speaker. You really just start thinking of, hey, what are the applications and implications of having something that has a giant piece of acoustic wood, or of spruce on the back, which is your acoustic guitar wood and your guitar woods and piano woods.
The other thing too is that it does have an expanded sound card over the CA901 and 701 series. They've added in here the digital pianos. Through the other sounds, they put in like the modern piano, which sounds like a DX, and then they put in the Tyne electric piano, and then like a Reed electric piano.
And it's easier to navigate if you are familiar with the differences in a Fender Rhodes and a Wurlitzer.
And some of those have effects, and they're numbered. So it's like this one has a bit of chorusing with a strong phase. This one just has strong phase, no chorusing, and this one's just a tremolo.
And the application is really I've used on these sounds. You can actually go in and put the effects in pretty easily.
On and off.
Yeah, so you can do that through the application, the piano remote app that Kawai has, and it works with both these models. Again, that's Bluetooth MIDI that's available on these, connecting third-party device applications to it so you can control it or record off of it. Both of them have internal recording capability. It's a 2-track recorder, I think 10 songs. Nothing's going to blow you away, but again, I don't think that's the main intention here is to have a recording device. It's more for practicing and writing parts.
Yeah, it's a great thing to have.
But great instrument. The user interface has been updated a little bit. On the 901, they also did change a little bit of the specifics of how the pedal works at the bottom. They're trying to make it a smoother experience with pedaling. The Grand Feel 3 again.
They have partial pedaling because it's not an on-off thing anymore for pedals on
there's a gradual
digital pianos. Yeah.
So both are fantastic instruments. I think both will be home runs. The Concert Artist series is, I would say, one of the best digitals out there.
It should be top seller for them, I would imagine, coming up starting next year.
Yeah, so if you guys have had the opportunity to play any of the CA series before, the 99, the 98, 79, 78, those were fantastic instruments. People still speak very highly of them, but we are excited to see the next generation with that updated competition grand. Just a fantastic instrument. We're actually going to play through some of the sounds now of both of them. I know we talked
the expanded card.
Yeah, the expanded card. So we listened to the competition piano. Let's listen to some of the voices that do come on it. There's 96 again of those on both of them. We'll listen to the electric pianos, some of the organs, the string and pianos.
I went through I kind of briefly touched over the SK piano, not competition grand.
Okay.
But I touched more on the electrics, and also for the first time, I think I've really focused on putting some of the SK5 samples out there.
All right, so let's take a listen to the rest of the samples on there. We'll come back and talk about a couple more differences in the two.
What'd you think of the digital sounds there, Patrick?
I mean,
They're fun.
The electric piano sounds so good. I really like the way it sounds off the 901. Again, I think that speaker arrangement is just a cool idea.
It's living resonance. It's like it's a breathing.
They're trying to make it way more real than a normal digital piano. Again, yeah, just that soundboard is incredible. But the electric piano sounded great. The speaker configuration on the 701 is 255 watts, so it's 110 watts of wattage on your output. The CA901 is a 3-speaker system. It's got 50 watts, and 35 on the soundboard. So those are the real big differences on how you're going to be hearing the audio outside, especially if you're playing music through it too, or some of those cool effects.
There's a lot more resonance coming off of that 901 model because it has a taller box as well, and that's designed as part of the sound.
Yeah, no, of course.
To get through that soundboard.
So both are fantastic instruments. Again, if you've played them, please leave comments. I know that will be important for people looking to make a purchase, especially at this level in the digital world. There's a lot of great options out there, and I think Kawai continues to really push forward on the way their pianos feel and the way that they sound. Great looking instruments, great playing, feeling, sounding instruments, but they do make a fantastic digital, especially where it counts.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. We will be reviewing other Kawai products and comparing them against the competition and let you know what we think about them for real. Ted Barstow, I'm Patrick Marr with Alamo Music, and we'll see you next time.